It's a little bit moist this morning. Morning, everybody. Welcome to Friday. Cam got to learn how much fun the Zern can be. And as he said last night, I never want to hook that header up again. Sorry, buddy. It's part of the deal. Cut this little 10-acre patch right here. So this was a hayfield that was dead. So we just no-tilled in some feed, irrigated it twice this spring. When we have so much water, we flood out the root zone on our crops, so you look for other places to irrigate for a little bit of time. Yeah, I'd say that was time well spent there. A couple loads of feed. That's not a bad trade-off. Now, let's go start getting the chopper ready. I really don't want to, but kind of need to. Every night, we sit here for a good hour debating and coming up with a plan for the next day. And I'm going to say 9 days out of 10, you're sitting here about ready to back away from the shop. Tuna comes waving at you, flailing his arms. Change of plan. I am now on feed duty. So, no 3 choppers running together unless I run into something too great. On the plus side for you guys, we're going to cut really short feed. So there's a good chance this time you will actually get to see my head explode. So, I mean, it's going to be good content for you guys, right? That's all that matters. I don't know how much of that you can see. The header was set on the ground on a bit of a slope away. So it rocked the mounting bracket away from me to where when I would try to line it up, it was out of my reach. So I've got the loader lifting that front end up like yay. Bingo. Got it. Okay, sorry if you couldn't hardly see any of that. It was awkward. I had people watching me, needed to concentrate. So what happened was the header was set on the ground, but the ground is sloped that way just a little. So when I sat down, it rocked forward. The way you hook up to headers is those 2 points. See that little circle there and the circle there? That stub on the green plate sticking up goes right through those holes. That's what holds your header on. Those go up through and then the bottom side latches. So when I would go to put those through, well, naturally, like anything pivoting, it's going to move in an arc. So when I'd get right to where I needed to be, by then the arc was pulling away. So as I would raise it, the hole was there and that pin would just go like that and pull away from it. So what I had to do was get the loader. Well, I tried the forklift. I guess our forklift was out of propane, and our other propane tank was out of propane. So going to go see if there's any propane in the tank on the other forklift, because currently the forklift is sitting in the middle of the driveway that we got to use for, well, everything here, everything. So I ran down, got the loader, pallet forks, and just slid the forks underneath that front edge where the knives are and just lifted it about 6 inches. It rocked the whole thing back. Hooked up real simple after that. The head's really thin, which I've had it happen with the corn heads too in front of the shop. Our shop setup isn't great because our driveway slopes towards the shop and then it flattens out in front of the shop to try and make it drain away. Well, if you pull in and set your header on that flat part, but your chopper is up at an angle, you can wind up doing the same thing. You'll get that arc out of line to where you can't get underneath it. I've done that a couple of times now. Okay, but header's hooked up. Blanca said she was running to grab an empty weight real quick. Sounds like I got 2 trucks. We're gonna cut the one field we never irrigated at all. It's just got a few strips, I guess, that we're gonna try and chop where some feed grew. The other one is a big sprinkler corner. We abandoned it after barely trying on it, so I guess I'm just gonna go get where we tried for a little bit. Now I'm wishing I hadn't wasted water on that corner, because now I'm gonna spend an hour chasing 2 ton. But I get these 2 little patches done, and then sounds like I'm gonna grab my corn head again and go try another field of ours that would come into this pit. But that was the plan as of 20 minutes ago, so I guarantee you that's already changed. Now to figure out what parts of this disaster are choppable. He says just the south edge and the east edge. And so far I ain't seeing nothing at either. But we'll find out. So for anybody new around here, this is what non-irrigated crops in our area would look like. Just some areas grow, some areas don't. But on the dry land, they get real iffy results on a summer like this. That's why we irrigate. Oh, you probably can't see it. Right there. So 100% of our ground is irrigated. It's just a matter of whether we have the water to irrigate 100% of our ground. This is a field we did not irrigate because we didn't have enough water to deal with it. Kind of about like I expected. 1 full load, and then that one's, I don't know, 1/3, 1/4-ish, whatever. We'll leave all this as ground cover and to catch snow this winter. So when we plant something like this that we know we're not going to be able to irrigate, we don't intend on harvesting it. Essentially, we're planting it to just be a cover crop, and if we are lucky enough to catch timely rains to make it turn into something, then we'll harvest it. With feed though, or forage sorghum, you have to be careful of high nitrates in it. When it's real drouthy, struggle to grow, it sucks up the nitrogen and condenses it real tight and won't let it go. You can have trouble feeding it to cattle. Now, you have trouble feeding it to mama cows when they are pregnant. If you blend it, like in our ration where we've got about 12 different ingredients, so everything is blended real light, you're not going to have a problem feeding it to steers. So, I know somebody's going to say, oh, you got to worry about nitrates in that. We don't. Cow-calf producers, yes. Feedlot guys, none the little amount that we're feeding. Well, that was fun. So it's only this sprinkler corner here. Don't be looking at the corn we already chopped over yonders. So everything I just drove by, I called that good enough for a load. He was like 2/3 loaded. And then we skipped all of this to just get up here for the last little bit. Started right there. And cut this little bit to right there for, I don't know, a couple thousand pounds on the next truck. But as you can see, we got the reel header on. We're going to cut a real crop. It's gonna get better, I hope. Now this is more like it. Won't take no time at all to fill some loads out of this field. Well, that was fun while it lasted. The moisture was climbing fast. When I punched that hole, it was at like 68.3, and then the 3 loads I cut in that opening were up to 69.04 with a lot of 72s, 73s. So we're just gonna leave it another 2 or 3 days. No big deal. Don't know what that was. I need to grab a little bit of def because I haven't done that yet today, and then we're gonna head over and join the other 2. Go see what kind of circus we can get going. My day may have just come to an end. I was putting def in. I noticed a little bit of oil on the frame. Opened the door. One of the big hydraulic hoses. It's like a 2-inch hydraulic hose. Sends all the pressure up for everything up here. Looks like it may have sprung a leak. So we're running over here to the shop to see what we got. We definitely got an oil leak. The question though is, where? This guy is what I assumed, but there's a lot of oil up on top and over on the side. As you can see looking at that, something's leaking up front here, it would seem, too. Or is it coming out of there? I don't know. That line, though, goes from that pump to right there. Luckily, it's not the one going through. We've done the one going through. I think that was on the last chopper I had. Awesome. I grab Aaron over here real quick, see if we can't diagnose this right fast. Of course, it'd be just after 12 and Bart and Glenn just left the shop for lunch, so excellent timing as always. So if you've ever been around one of these choppers, one thing you know, oh come on, start, is that these engines run at about 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. But luckily, we got this handy dandy giant fan. So we can just blow air across that for a while, get that cooling down. That can shut off. Pump up our RPMs. So yeah, I'll just have some air blowing across that now, kind of start cooling this area off while I get out the parts book and look up. I think this hose is the problem. Where am I pointing? Right there. But I don't know if we have another problem. It appears as though we do. But first thing, I'm going to look up this hose. It's just not the day for choppers. So we found where we think the oil leak is coming from. That big pulley on the side that the main drive belt's on, it looks like it's coming from the seal on that, where it's coming, where the shaft is coming out of that aluminum gearbox behind it. Called McPherson, they said, yeah, it's kind of a big job. You need to take that pulley off. But in doing so, you're going to wind up having to cut the bearing off because it's going to be seized. And in doing that, that will ruin the pulley. But he goes, usually by the time that seal goes out in there, the pulley is so grooved it's actually shot anyways, you just don't realize it. So Bart looked real quick before I fired it up, and yeah, our pulley is shot. But, so you got to pull all that off, get the seal pulled out, get the new seal in, put it all back together. Does not sound like a simple 2-hour job. Like, it takes special John Deere tools to do it, which Glenn will just make because Glenn's a freaking genius like that. Colton is just getting the spout liner fixed and he'll be back up and running. So, in the meantime, this one we're just going to run it until it starts leaking more. He said, you know, it could be a couple of days, it could be a couple of weeks. It just all varies. It is just not our day today. Cameron just sent me a Snapchat. He's overheating again. They pressure washed that radiator like crazy yesterday. They've done about everything we can think of, other than it sounds like there was potentially a speed up kit for the fan, make it turn a little bit faster. I don't know. So that's frustrating. And then in the lesser major problems, Blanca called. She broke an unload chain in the pit. So Glenn's over there helping her, but I was watching Bart's head explode because he shows up. We're sitting there trying to diagnose my chopper. Colton calls saying he's got a spout liner broke. No more than hangs up with him, and Blanca calls to say she's broke down. No more than hangs up with her, and John Deere calls saying, hey, we've got a computer software update we got to put on those choppers. And we go, well, one's parked here at the shop if you hurry up. Sorry, Wes, you weren't there yet, and I was told to go, so I guess you can put the update on Colton's and catch this one and the other one tomorrow morning or something. 12 trucks in the field, and somehow both choppers are sitting and waiting. I don't know what the hell. Dude, you ain't gonna turn around in one pass, just go around. You should have gone around 5 freaking minutes ago. And then we got another one parked over by the tree. I guess he decided he didn't want to load, so they hollered at that one to get up there. Oh, cool. Now you're going around. Now you're going around. Hector, get the hell over here. I can have you full before he gets here. Oh, this is why I got Hector. Just pull in. Let's go. I'm not waiting. Hey, Golden made it. We got all 3 running together. We'll see how long until mine breaks down. It's kind of an impressive looking convoy, guys. You gotta give me that. You gotta give me that. I don't know. I kind of nerd out seeing lots of cool equipment together. Anyways, so that 60 acres is done. Now we are coming to pick up where these 2 left off one day on a half pivot. Hopefully we can get it knocked out. Then go over where we, you and I, left off.
Then you get back to the spot where I left off on this pivot.
No, that just ruined all this. That did not take long to wipe out 30 acres. According to my acre counter, I did 13 acres there. So we all got to be fairly similar to that. That was insane. But, in typical fashion, Cameron's got to go to the shop now. It sounds like just some loose bolts. Nothing major. I got out. Why is that so loose? Apparently I got a screw loose. I got out and checked. Oil leak so far is holding together, so I don't think there's any rain in the forecast. Normally you'd just be like, hell, we just got to get it till we get rained out. I don't think the 10-day forecast really has any rain. Our little sprinkles we got the other day was about all the more we had coming our way. Okay. 6 mile move. 7 mile move. Holy shnikes! Where'd the last hour go? Man, that was fast. So we finished the field down there where we were. Had a handful of trucks up here. Hell, we're already only 2 choppers. We're 20 acres in. I think the field's already half done. 45 minutes we would have been done. But it's 6:15. It's time to get this thing cleaned off. Call it a day. Hopefully there's enough light you guys can see me. So it's kind of a bizarre end of the day. My oil leak is still leaking. It's gotten a little bit worse. So it's still just ticking time bomb. The more annoying problem, Cameron, his spout cracked again. And they just welded it yesterday. And I'm not talking the extension. The extension, you know, that's that chunk you guys seen. We had it welded. I expected that to fail. This is the base part of the spout that we've never had to work on one before. Now granted, this chopper has more hours than any of this series we've ever ran, but holy crap. What kind of poor life did this chopper have before it got here? Or what the hell is Cameron doing to it? I don't get it. But either way, we got a plan for tomorrow. Charge up the old iPad so I can watch college football all day and go have a great Saturday. Catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.